The death toll continues to rise in the conflict between Israel and Hamas militants. Overnight, a bomb from an Israeli air raid struck a residential building in Gaza, killing at least 10 people, including children. It's the deadliest single strike so far in this most recent conflict. Meanwhile, Hamas militants launched hundreds of rockets towards Israel, some hitting residential areas. At least 139 people have been killed in Gaza since Monday, while in Israel at least 7 people have died. The conflict has now also spread to the larger Palestinian territory, the West Bank.
In an instant, a 6-story building is reduced to rubble. All throughout the day and into the night, explosions reverberated through Gaza City as Israel intensified its onslaught against Hamas. As the conflict escalates, hour by hour, Gazans are fleeing their homes with whatever they can carry. Some have come to this school run by the UN in search of a safe place.
Ties between Russia and Ukraine continue to remain tense. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused neighboring Ukraine of becoming anti-Russia and warned that Moscow would be ready to react to what he said were threats to its own security. Putin's comments came a day after a Ukrainian court placed a prominent pro-Russian politician and personal friend of Putin under house arrest. Speaking at a meeting of Russia's Security Council, the Russian president accused Kiev of overseeing a cleansing of the country's political space. Putin said that Ukrainian authorities were targeting people who favored better ties with Russia and supported a peaceful settlement in eastern Ukraine. This after Kiev put a close ally of Putin, Viktor Medvedchuk, under house arrest days after he was charged with treason. He is accused of transferring oil and gas production licenses from fields in Crimea to Russian authorities.
Washington was running out of gas on Friday, even as U.S. officials assured Americans that supplies would return to normal soon. The 6-day Colonial Pipeline shutdown, the most disruptive cyber attack on record, has prompted widespread panic buying. It's left many gas stations across the southeast empty and customers scrambling to fill up their cars. As social distancing restrictions ease and more Americans hit the road, pump prices are at their highest in years. The national gasoline average has climbed to over $3, the most expensive since 2014, according to the American Automobile Association. Colonial Pipeline, the country's largest fuel network, announced Thursday it had restarted its entire system and was ramping up deliveries.
Turning our focus to Colombia now, where anti-government protests continue for the third week. Now, the ongoing protests have had an impact on all aspects of life, from increasing food and fuel prices to now even football. The Union of Colombian Footballers called on authorities to halt all domestic matches due to the political unrest in the country. This as Colombia and Argentina are set to host the Copa America in just a month. 4 games in Continental Cup competitions were earlier moved to other countries last week due to the protests. Hours after the union's appeal, a Copa Libertadores match in the city of Barranquilla was halted several times as players were affected by tear gas fired from outside the stadium. The first took more than an hour to complete, and players were even removed from the pitch due to the effects of the gas.
Now, the people of Chile head to the polls this weekend to decide who will create a new constitution. The existing framework dates back decades to the autocratic rule of General Augusto Pinochet. While mass protests helped spur a referendum that set out the makeup of the assembly, half of the new delegates have to be women. The draft constitution will be voted on next year.